While we're waiting, I push my boulder up a hill, and I'm debating whether I'd get further off by standing still. So while you're waiting for acknowledgement from anyone, some needed more than you and didn't get enough when they were young. While we're waiting, I take my time, I take yours too. For all the words I speak, I never feel as though I'm getting through. While we're waiting for a lesson about less is more, I am guessing it's calamity and danger you adore. And what for? One window closing can still open doors. I'm gonna sit right down and share myself with you. I'm gonna show you who I am, I really am. I'm gonna listen to my face is blue. I'm gonna give you all I can. While we're waiting, tell you what I'm gonna do. Gonna wait right here, stand in line with you. While we're waiting, I glance around, there's lots to see. I take it all in as I wonder what's in front of me. As future turns to history, I figure out how much more I can be.
Tonight, a little bit of Epis and a little bit of Bupkis. Now, Epis means something in Yiddish. Find out what Bupkis means in just moments. It's Dave J. Tuesday. Hey everybody, welcome. It's your old pal Dave J from New York City, songwriter, performer, storyteller, characters. It is Tuesday, it is Dave J Tuesday, and let's get it going, huh? All right. Tonight we have some fun stuff planned, some informational stuff, some insightful entertainment, if you will. And before we get going into that, of course, as you know, if you've been here before, and if you didn't know, I'm going to tell you now, that I'd like to check in with you, see how you're doing, let you know how I'm doing, and invite you, of course, to participate in the commenter section below. You can type in any thoughts that you have that leak your ears, as Adam Beck used to say, and let me let you know how I'm doing. Well, relatively well is the going phrase for the last 7 or so months, thank goodness. But today I am zonked, exhausted out of my gourd. That's right, because in the last, say 36 hours or so, I've had only about 4 hours sleep. Why, you ask? Why, Dave? Why are you torturing yourself so, and in turn, thereby torturing us? Well, I'll let you know. It's for good reason, because my good buddy Evan Seplow, brilliant filmmaker, video maker, magic maker, as he is, invited me to take part in his film. He's creating an indie feature film, and in fact, I'm honored that he created the role for me. It's a buddy zombie comedy called Trumpocalypse. At least that's the going working title, and we're about a week into what will probably be about a month and a half or so of shooting. Last night we did an overnight shoot, which requires that we stay up all night, and we did that in Times Square right here in the Big Apple, New York City, and it was a lot of fun, though quite exhausting. We've been up doing a lot of running, from zombies, as you might imagine, and my thighs are burning just thinking about it because I guess I didn't realize I'm a man of a certain age with a certain set of thighs that can't take it anymore, I don't know why it's affecting my thighs. Do you know why it's affecting my thighs? Let me know in the comments section below. All right. And in the coming weeks, of course, I will let you know some behind-the-scenes stuff about this film, some stuff. It's been great, though. I've been working with a lot of people, and as it is a film that I am working on with Evan and the cast and crew of Trumpocalypse, I thought it befitting, word of the day. Where is it? I don't know where the word of the day is. Okay, we'll not count that one as the word of the day. We'll have plenty of words of the day to get to. I thought I had word of the day here somewhere, but I don't see it now on my panel. That's perplexing. No matter. We're going to continue on with the Tuesday Tale. So the Tuesday Tale today, as advertised, is about a fella we like to call Bupkis. Now, Bupkis, as I mentioned at the cold opening of the show, is a Yiddish word. And it's a Yiddish word that means, in fact, nothing, which was the reference to something, and now you got nothing. But it's more than just a Yiddish word, because it's actually a character for, you guessed it, a film that is in the works. It's in the early stages, but it's been worked on for a long time. And tonight I'm going to give you the backstory about the character Bupkis, about the film, yet to be in the mid to late stages, because as I said, it's the early stages. DMD is here. I want to welcome you. How are you, DMD? He says, wear your mask. Well, I'm going to reference a mask in just a moment, so I'm glad you said something about it. Oh, you mean when we shoot the film? Yes, I have to give Evan and Susan, with whom he's working on this film, total credit and props, because they're being extremely careful. We're spraying everything down. We're wearing masks as much as possible. But sure, to your point, I could be dead by the end of the year. Where's the ba-dum-bump? There it is. Okay, but I could be. In any case, let me take you back as far as the late 1980s, when, as a student at Ithaca College, I said to myself, you know what? I'm a huge fan of those movie musicals, those MGMs, the Gene Kellys, the Donald O'Connors, and so forth. And I thought of this character I always wanted to play. I called him at that time the Song and Dance Man, and everywhere he'd go, it would become Technicolor. And he'd be, gotta dance, just like Gene Kelly. And I always wanted to do this character. I initially wanted to do him on our sketch comedy show that we all worked on there, called The Nothing Special. DMD, this is the part with the mask. Check this out. Let me go to camera 2. See that? The Nothing Special. Yeah. This is a mask sent to me by my good dear pal Barry the K. Corbman, who also not only graduated Livingston High School, but also was on The Nothing Special and graduated at Ithaca College with me. Fast forward many, many years later, I met a fellow who worked in children's television, and we kind of clicked right away and had the shtick thing going back and forth, and he and I started having lunch. This was about 2013, mid to late 2013. And so we'd have lunch periodically and talk shop and so forth. And he revealed to me in January of 2014, as I recall, it was down at the seaport where he worked. We'd frequent restaurants down there. I love that whole area of the city for many reasons. Early American history, early Revolutionary War period history and so forth. And it still has a little bit of that vibe. Matter of fact, not to digress, but I'm going to do it anyway. We were just shooting Trumpocalypse down there, and I went by some of the old haunts. It was great. And so Tom said to me over one of these meals in January of 2014, listen, Dave, I saw a a picture of you and on Facebook, and it gave me this idea. For this, I'm really a filmmaker. It's not really children's television I'm interested in working in, and it kind of made me think of this character that you really are emblematic of. And I think basically, if we'll co-write a script, and I'll direct it, and you'll play the lead character. And we didn't yet have a name for this character. Eventually, I came up with Bupkis and a title, Too Much Bupkis. So as Tom Brown is the fella's name, as he and I continued to work on the project, we started creating some social media years later. And one of the pieces we created should fill in some of the blanks here of what I'm trying to tell you, but I don't think I'm getting to. So here is a little segment we created called What is Too Much Bupkis? Too Much Bupkis is a forthcoming short film about a guy named Bupkis. Show business is his life. He's a New Yorker, modern day guy whose heart is really trapped in a former era.
And he longs for being a Borscht Belt entertainer, being a vaudevillian, being one of those folks on Broadway that we would see, along with Milton Berle and Jack Benny, those kinds of guys.
The golden age of radio, the Borscht Belt, the golden age of television. This is where his heart lives.
And it's his quest to kind of get back there. He has talent from that time, but no one in modern day can relate to it. So it's kind of his journey as to how he can get others to relate to his audience.
He has heroes all across the spectrum, from Smith and Dale, the Marx Brothers, Jerry Lewis, Martin and Lewis, Sid Caesar, Jack Benny, big one, Jack Benny, Johnny Carson.
The great thing about him is that he's totally relentless, and going for the comedy and going for the jokes, he's too much. He pushes the boundary and goes a little bit too much and makes it uncomfortable. In a nutshell, that's what Too Much Bupkis is.
And so what we did was we decided to start working on this project, and I'm going to continue the story that you were just watching. That type of segment will fill in more blanks, but I want to show you something first. That I'd started to mention that Tom had seen pictures of me on Facebook. Now, he appears in this clip, you'll see, to remember it somehow in black and white, or perhaps he meant he thought of it in black and white, or maybe like a dog, he dreams in black and white. I'm not really sure. I can't really speak for him at this point. But these are the pictures I think he meant. I'm going to show it to you first, so that when I show you the next segment of how it all came about, you'll kind of get the reference. That's these images here. Now, these are my kids' act promo pictures. Had a professional photographer take these some years ago, and this is an outfit I always kind of affected. Again, the kind of vaudevillian Borscht Belt sort of fella that we were referencing in that last clip. But here is our Tom and I discussing how Too Much Bupkis came about.
I remember very specifically that we both kind of enjoyed the Borscht Belt and the vaudeville, and every time that we would get together, we would be doing shtick, and we would be kibitzing, and we would be going back and forth with all this other stuff.
It was at one of those meetings that, Tom, you said to me, I saw a picture of you on Facebook, and you had a ruffled tuxedo shirt and a bow tie, and I don't know what it was for, but it made me conjure this character who fancies himself a Borscht Belt comedian and fancies himself a vaudevillian. And I don't know what it's about, but you see, Dave, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a storyteller, and I'd like to work with you to kind of flesh out who this character is and write a short script together, and I'll direct it, and you'll be the character.
I recall seeing that picture that you described, and And I looked at that and I thought, my God, like, and I think I may have seen it black and white. I think I may have seen it black and white. And when I saw that, it was kind of like, oh my God, that's the performer. There you go. Okay, there's something there.
You know, as we continued to meet for lunch and we tried to talk about who the character is, I would come in with, you know, Tom, I was working on a voice. I was looking in the mirror this morning and I was working on a voice, and you'd be like, no, Dave, no, it's you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's me. But then I'm gonna have this. I have this hat. I'm gonna, no, Dave. You know.
No,
I'd be like,
I mean,
oh,
it's
so
not
as
that
we
thing,
began,
but I'm saying,
I began to sink in. Oh, well, write about what you know. And
So that's a tune, if you heard in the background, I think it's called Cool Joe or something, Smokin' Joe or Joltin' Joe? No, I don't think it's called any of those things. I don't remember what it's called. It's a tune that Tom thought of as a good little theme song for Bupkis. We never really got far enough into it, and we'll get to that perhaps a little bit. We're not going to get too into that. But suffice to say, let's continue with our story. First, I want to welcome Beetle Mike. He's here. He says, hey, Dave J. Beetle Mike here. Yeah. I crank up the arm to do it for you in the yeah part of reading what you wrote. Okay. So right there in that clip as well, I'm reminded of the wonderful Ukrainian restaurant we were eating at. I believe it's Ukrainian, called Veselka on 2nd Avenue and around 9th Street. Fantastic. I miss it. They've got wonderful chicken soup in Luction. Always reminds me of my grandma Evelyn, because she made the best chicken soup in Luction and would always make it with not only chicken, not only Luction, but the special ingredient, love. Yes. And their soup is the closest I've come. No offense, Ma, if you're watching. I'm sure she is. My mom and dad frequent every show. God, I don't know what I did with the word of the day button here. Maybe I didn't have room for it. I had a exit, 69 it. But in any case, 69 it. Wait a second. What did I don't work blue on this show. You know what I mean. What is it? 49 it? Which thing? Tell me in the comments section below where I'm going wrong. In any case, let's continue on. Oh, there it is.
Word of the day.
Anyway, little too little, little too late. Pat Benatar. Anyway, continuing on. So Tom and I slaved away in the script mines of Bupkis. And one day over one of these lunches, it was a place called the Paris Cafe, also in the South Street Seaport, I said to him, hey, they always say write what you know. And I studied script writing at Ithaca College. And it's one of the many things I learned. And what did I know? I know that I am into the Borscht Belt vaudeville thing. I'm into shtick, as he talked about in one of those videos. And I know that I always came on too strong, and then just kind of like spoiled it. If I'd only kind of just given one or two jokes, it would have been funny. But because I did 5, 6, 7 jokes, it was too much. And so I said, I got an idea, Tom. Why don't we call the character Bupkis? And then we'll call the title of the film Too Much Bupkis. Get it? Too much, nothing. For those of you who now understand that Bupkis means nothing. Ha ha ha! So we wrote several drafts of the script. We had our ups and downs. For years we toiled, as I said. We started in 2014. And then by 2018, I think, we had, or 2017, 18, thereabouts, we had completed a draft that was to our liking. And so Tom took it upon himself to start entering it into all sorts of film festival contests for just the script itself, just the written script. And eventually we won some accolades. And one of those was a European contest called the ECU. Here's a wreath to show you, to prove to you that it's much more than a script competition. And we were finalists, and we won. In fact, we won, and we received some crappy package. Tom never even shared it with me. I was bummed. But he shared a picture of it, and it came in a ripped envelope, and it was just a book and a handwritten thing. The thing I just showed you was nicer than what was in the package, apparently. But no matter, Tom and I were not, when we were finalists, as it said in that wreath, we didn't have enough time to book a ticket for it to be affordable. It was going to be held in Paris that year, I believe. And so what we decided to do is send them a video thanking them, and therefore, just in case we won, we'd have something to share. But so I wrote up this little script, and we shot it where Tom works with a colleague of his. And this is the little video that we shot and sent along to them that they played at their festival.
Hello to everyone at the ECU.
And bonjour.
Yes, bonjour, Dave. We just want to say thank you so much for being included. It's been an honor to participate.
And we wish we could be there with you. Unfortunately, the closest we could come was the Paris Cafe right here in New York City.
True.
That is, until now, I just picked us up 2 tickets to Paris, Texas.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's the wrong direction, Dave.
Wrong direction.
Anyway, we just want to say thank you so much for being included and being honored. And I have to just say it's been fantastic.
But
and congrats
this
to all of them.
will make us feel closer to the action. Oui, oui. Ha, ha, ha.
Dave, it's too much.
Too much?
It's too much.
Too much.
Too much Bupkis.
Too much Bupkis. Ha, ha.
So
Thanks very too much. That brings back some good memories. In any case, we went on to win a few other accolades or just become finalists, such as the New York Sinner the New York Sinner. These days, you kidding? You can't escape the sin. New York City International Screenplay Awards, we were finalists in 2019. And then there was a place in Hollywood called Just for Shorts, where we were had the best drama script. But as you see, it's a little less impressive because they give out one of these awards every month, not every year. So we won in June of 2019. But hey, it's no slouchy thing there, right? And then we were very, very honored to win, or rather not win, but to be included in the Holly Shorts competition where we were semi-finalists. But the important thing about the Holly Shorts competition is that it's an Academy Award, what's the proper terminology? I'm not sure, but it's an Academy Award level contest, meaning if you have your actual film in that contest and you win, you're actually eligible for the Academy Award. I think it's something along that line. I may be misrepresenting the facts, but it's something loosely along that line. You'll forgive me if you will. Okay, well, we weren't going to, again, just not send something along, plus we were already into the throes of our social media campaign. So I took the Hooray for Hollywood song and I changed the lyrics, and we shot a little video here in New York City in the Madison Square Park, and Tom edited it together, and this is what it looked like. No, it isn't. This is what it looked like.
Hooray for Holly Shorts. We love that Bombo Psycho Holly Shorts. We are so honored to have been included. It's undisputed, the best for our short. Thanks to you and good luck to all from old New York. Hooray for Holly Shorts.
So they have that. Of course, being too much, I couldn't sit still with it as Beetle Mike can. He's already doing the shtick. He uses shtick as his deodorant. I like that, Beetle Mike. You're very good. And he also liked the video. What does that say? Paris. Oh, the Paris, Texas one. That's right. My friend here, Beetle Mike, is from Texas, and you may have even been to Paris, Texas, haven't you, Beetle Mike? Let us know in the comments section below. But we'll continue along. As I was beginning to say, I am too much, and I couldn't sit still with just that one song because, after all, I just changed the lyrics to an existing song. I wanted to write my own song, so I wrote this one. Honored to be part of Holly Shorts. Enjoy.
We're so honored to be part of Holly Shorts. So delighted that our script has found a port. You're the lighthouse in a storm, a film festival. Best of all, at least so far, we made semi-finals. No matter what happens, it's such a great sign, and we'll just finish up with a moment of gratitude. Thank you.
Oh, so there was a little extra at the end there, congratulating people or what have you. No matter, we're continuing on. This is live, ladies and gentlemen, and I failed to mention, for the first time, we are simulcasting to the Too Much Bupkis page here on Facebook. So when you get a moment, perhaps enthralled as I'm sure you are by now with Bupkis and Too Much Bupkis, you will go to the Too Much Bupkis page and click like, follow, what have you, and I hope that you will, because there's more on the Too Much Bupkis project to come in this very broadcast, and I hope those of you watching on the Too Much Bupkis page will also come to the Dave J from NYC page, where I'm always broadcasting from every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, these Dave J Tuesday programs, and hope you will come and click like and follow here. Moving right along, though, Tom and I said, you know what, we've got to get our social media campaign going, and so in the summer of 2019, we began said campaign, and we had all sorts of ideas, some of which I'll share with you now. One, as I referenced earlier, is Yiddish, and a Yiddish lesson from Bupkis. Tom had this idea to have this little doll, like the garden gnome, you know, and we went through this process. There's a place, it's called Doob, I believe, not the kind I used to do, but the kind that makes a doll. So I'll bet the guy who thought of the Doob company probably smoked them, though. This is pretty kind of wacky and cool. You walk into a booth, right, and it's got a gazillion cameras, and it's all white. It's like Wonka. It's like the Wonka vision. It turns you into like little tiny things flying overhead and into the Wonka television set. Sort of like that. It sort of felt like that. But I walked into the booth dressed, as you saw in one of the recent clips, in the Bupkis outfit. What became the Bupkis outfit was this blue tuxedo jacket with the thing, with the ruffles and all that stuff, and the black bow tie. And so we created a little doll. And I said, Tom, I don't know if we really need a doll. And he said, no. Trust me, I'm telling you, the doll is the thing. He said, it's never been done before. It's like the garden gnome. I said, it's never been done before? Like the garden gnome? All right. Who am I to argue? So in any case, we did the little doll. We featured him in the social media campaign. And I kid because I love to kid. Okay, here is a Bupkis Yiddish lesson. Check it out. The Bupkis Yiddish lesson, starring me, Bupkis. Bupkis, pronounced Bupkis. Bupkis. Say it with me. Bupkis. You're not loud enough. Bupkis. Again. Bupkis. What are you doing over there? Bupkis. Jeez. I'm sure you're just tickled pink, aren't you? And now you've learned something too. As I said earlier, it's insightful entertainment. It's not just entertainment. I don't just stop at entertainment. I make it insightful. All right, moving along, we didn't just stop at Yiddish lessons. No. We know that Bupkis wants to celebrate those that he loves. For example, he'll celebrate birthdays. Hi, this is Bupkis. It's Max Liebman's birthday today. Born in 1902, Max became the Ziegfeld of TV, who helped establish comedy in the golden age of television. To start, he produced Your Show of Shows and Caesar's Hour, which boasted some of the most legendary names in comedy, like Sid Caesar, Imogene Coca, Carl Reiner, Howard Morris, Mel Brooks, Neil and Danny Simon, Larry Gelbart, Lucille Callan, Mel Token, Selma Diamond, Woody Allen, and more. Then, 30 years later to the day, celebrated brilliant actor Peter O'Toole was born, who would eventually go on to star in one of my favorite movies of all time, My Favorite Year, produced by Mel Brooks' film company, and centered on the backstage goings-on on Max Liebman's programs. So there's so much here to be excited about. I'll be celebrating all day. In fact, you can say it's your day of days, and my favorite day. Oops. All right, we got so excited we wanted to start the show from the top. So there you go. But not only did Bupkis celebrate birthdays, no, he could not be stopped. As you know, he may be much too much, and he also celebrates anniversaries. The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, was an American talk show hosted by Johnny Carson under the Tonight Show franchise from October 1st, 1962 through May 22nd, 1992. And Johnny has always been the undisputed king of late night. Well, his monologues were beautifully crafted, with occasional sketch comedy, but he was even better known for his supreme interviewing skills.
When you're in a romantic mood, and you're trying to make out, whose records do you put on?
So, happy birthday to the one we'll always think of as best, The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Yeah. Bam, ba, da, ba, da, da, ba. That's right. Without the Tonight Show, we would not have the great, legendary Johnny Carson. Therefore, we would not have the late, legendary, great Steve Allen, who began with the Tonight Show. And Steve Allen was a huge influence on David Letterman, who was a huge influence on me and this very show. So, you see how it all is a couple of degrees of separation. I don't want to say 6. I don't know who made up this 6 degrees of separation. It was my understanding there was to be no math. But I will tell you that I don't believe 6 is the correct figure. Let me know if you think it's the correct figure in the commenter section below. And we're going to be getting to your comments in just one moment. But first, I have one more celebratory thing to share a la Bupkis, because Bupkis not only shares birthdays, he not only shares anniversaries, he also shares major holidays with you, the fine feathered viewer. Whether or not you have feathers, that's up to you. This is Bupkis with Jingle Shtick, dashing in my suit as I take the stage, bashing out each gag, barely make a wait, tell jokes and I sing, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun to get some laughs, I'm slaying 'em tonight. Oh, jingle shtick, everywhere I go. Old Saint Nick is jolly, ha ha ha, not ho ho ho. Jingle shtick, a jingle about shtick. I can riff on any topic everywhere I go. Huh? What do you mean I'm not allowed to change the words? Who are you? This is Bupkis. Camera 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for camera 2. But now, it's time to see what you wrote. Alright, I'm gazing upon the commenter section below, but first let me get my gazing specs so I can help in seeing that it doesn't look just like hieroglyph. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, we already read some of them. The wear your mask. Ha ha ha. I didn't catch the ha 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 the first time. Wear your mask. Is that what you meant, DMD? Okay, fair enough. Was that a gag about wearing the mask? Hey, wear your mask. I'm kidding, of course. Get the COVID. Herd immunity. Okay, I heard your immunity. Gag. Beetle Mike, of course, says here, and he's now Beetle Mike. I don't know if it was a typo here, but now you know how to spell shtick from the jingle shtick thing we just showed you. But it might just be a typo. It appears it would be, because I believe in you when it comes to spelling, at least. And Beetle Mike liked the Paris, Texas video because, as I said, Beetle Mike is from Texas. Beetle Mike, you never told me, I don't believe, or I haven't gotten that far, but you are from Texas. Were you from near Paris, Texas? And probably no matter. Wouldn't have changed the gag, but it's just interesting to find out for me and for the viewers, right? Okay, LOL, very insightful, you add, and I'm glad, because insightful entertainment is what we're all about here at Insightful Entertainment. All right. Debbie Marie says Sunday. DMD, Sunday. Now, I don't know, because I'm far out of context now, as I often am in my life. Tell me, what Sunday, your big day. Oh, thank you so much for remembering. You knew that. Oh, that's right, we talked about. Okay, well, this coming Sunday is my birthday. Yes. Thank you so much. It's kind of a cryptic way of saying it. Now I've got to be the schmuck who reveals. Oh, yes, everyone wish me a happy birthday. Hello, me. Me? Yes. You could have just... Oh, you said your big day, so I guess you did say that. Okay, that's why we do the Let's See What You Wrote segment, because I can't figure everything out. I can't do I'm trying to run buttons and talk and think. Off the top of my head, there's no scripts, really, other than, this is what I came up with for today's show. So I have a little rundown, and then, for the cold open, I kind of wrote a few notes. But then I can't look at it and read it. Tonight, a little bit of, what does that say? No, I got to kind of glance at it and then riff it to you folks and then push a button. I got these buttons. Can you see this? Yeah. So that's how I'm able to run my own little TV studio here for you tonight. Let's continue on with the commenture and get on with the rest of the show. We're doing just fine for 36 hours, 4 hours out of 36, 4 into 36. Wait a second, where's my calculator? My dad already figured it out. He should have worked for NASA. Let's see, 36 divided by 4 equals 9. That's what I should have known that, but here's my work. I can check my work with you. Okay, there you go. That means out of 9 hours, I should have eaten pepperoni pizza how many times? No, I'm confused. Doesn't matter. Let's continue on with the comments. Beetle Mike says, I'm not wearing any underwear. But wait a second, he didn't say that. I see what I just did to him. That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassing word. Can we edit that out of the show? I'm just doing shtick, Beetle Mike. I'm so sorry. He says, I'm not wearing a mask. Wait a second, I'm vindicated. He says, or pants. See, I riffed. See, great minds think alike. Pants, underwear, come on. You'll forgive me. It's one garment off. I want to stay further away than 6 from most morons. Yeah, and by the way, what is this 6-foot crap? We were kind of talking about that on the set of Trumpocalypse. We were like, why 6 feet? Why 6? I'd say 5 feet. I'm comfortable with 5.2 feet. Why? Like my Aunt Naomi, my parents and I were talking earlier, she was 5'2". 5'2". That's not the same as 5.2, I'm just realizing, but you'll follow me, you'll forgive me, you'll give me a little leeway. DMD put some red balloons on there. I believe they're for my birthday coming up this Sunday. Thank you very much. But here's the thing. I'm turning an inglorious age. Inglorious, word of the day.
Word of the day.
But no matter. It's an age. And to turn it, and by the way, I haven't turned it yet, so I might turn before, like bad food turns, I might turn, God forbid. Let's not give it a kanahara, as my parents would say. That's more Jewish talk, Yiddish, I believe, for bad stuff. We don't want to invite the bad spirits. But no matter, JPL is here, and I'm skipping ahead, Beetle Mike, you'll forgive me, and is giving me a birthday cake and one of those things the old-timey directors that Bupkis would have loved, of course, uses to say, cut! Action! It's exciting. When we're doing Trumpocalypse, Evan does say action. It's just like the old-time movies. All right. That part has stayed. And what are these other... I can't see. Even my glasses... Wait a second. I have my trusty magnifying glass that even has a button on it for light. You see the light? It's kind of faint. The batteries are dying. Let me see what that image is. Oh, those are beer mugs. Thank you. You know what? I'm fresh out of my JD. But no matter, because we're on natural fumes. We're on natural high fumes here. Thank you, JPL. I appreciate it. And Beetle Mike has double LOLs in capital letters, and you just can't do much better unless you want to do 3, because as you may know, 3 in comedy. Now I'm getting classic on you folks. Thanks so much for the commenture and the participation. I appreciate it. We're going to continue on with the show because we still have a little bit more to get to. For example, on the social media, as I was mentioning, Bupkis doesn't stop at Yiddish lessons. He doesn't stop at celebratory mentions. He also shares a joke of the day.
Joke of the day, featuring me, Bupkis.
Marriage is nature's way of keeping us from fighting with strangers. Follow Too Much Bupkis. Hashtag Too Much Bupkis.
That was an Alan King gag. I want to give credit where it is due. We all love the late, great Alan King as well. And good memories of thinking of him. Yerl! He would always talk about his, I think it was his brother-in-law. My mom and dad will back me up on this. I think Yerl is idiot brother-in-law. Oh, you got to look it up. Alan King was fantastic. Moving right along, Bupkis is a musical fellow as well. And so when Tom and I were working on the script, and you know, and I've been a little bit cryptic about this, I guess I'll take this opportunity to tell you that Tom and I worked on this project for over 6 years. Count them, 6 years. And unfortunately, without going into too much detail, we had a parting of ways at the very beginning of the COVID thing, the crapdemic, as you know I've come to call it. A very unfortunate parting of ways. I still consider the man a friend, wherever he is, whatever he's doing. But unfortunately, he decided to go a different way, and I've decided to go a different way. And I'm still working on the project and have many exciting things to come to share with you. I've assembled a team, for example, to work with me, a faithful, talented group of people who believe in the project as I do, as I know Tom did, and perhaps does on his end. Speaking no ill will of former partnerships, but it got a great thing going, and I'm very excited to share what I'm sharing today and what is yet to come. One of the things that I'm working on is the script itself, because I've always felt that the story is the most crucial part of any of these things. We have a great character with great tone. We knew it. We have great bits. We have all these wonderful things, and yet I always felt from my training that the story is the most important element in all of these things, and it was what was lacking the most, and it's where I am most focused in between my work on Trumpocalypse, the zombie buddy comedy. But I also I'm toying around with a lot of different ideas, because Bupkis could be a feature film, it could be a short film. We were going to do a short film with the idea of making a feature film ultimately. And I also recognize, just like Chaplin, like Abbott and Costello, like Laurel and Hardy, could be a series of short films. This is something else I'm messing with, because since working with Tom and parting ways with him in March, I also have a gazillion new ideas. I started writing a whole new screenplay, so I've got a whole bunch of new elements to introduce for Bupkis. But one thing that I feel very certain of is that music will be very much part of what he does, because as a songwriter myself and as a musical performer, among other things, I like to include those very things. And so Tom and I did have a section in our short film that we had worked on where Bupkis does a song. Now, I wrote this song for it. I know Tom liked it a lot. I was fond of it as well. A song to explain that, yes, he's too much, but he comes to a point where he says, you know what, too much is enough. In fact, the right amount for me. And this is a demo that I created at home for this track. I'd like you to enjoy it now.
Was I too much for you? That's not what I see. From my point of view, you were not enough for me. I go to extremes, it seems there's no in between. I'm seasoned yet weathered, but I'm not done. I'll brave all the elements, so just bring them on. I'm a blizzard and a vivid sunset rolled into one. I am who I have to be. Too much is enough for me. Though I spout intensity, don't doubt my sincerity. my reflection, what do I see? A larger-than-life version gazing back at me. And I'm topping the bill up on the palace marquee. I am who I have to be. Too much is enough for me. I've still got humility, 'cause modesty is my best quality. Is enough for me. Hold fast to hope eagerly, to outlast obscurity. I had an epiphany. Too much is the right amount for me.
I really enjoyed listening to that. I hope you did too. And want to just say that I've written actually a ton of songs for Bupkis for the films, some of which, I guess we didn't agree to include in the drafts we had heretofore, the heretofore that was through March of this year. But I'm toying with the idea of making the whole thing a musical and many other ideas, as I said. Now, that song, as much as I do like it, perhaps may or may not be considered a jablamo pop tune. However, I like to close the show on a jablamo pop tune, and the classic one I wrote this song probably, 2006 or 7, I would say, certainly when I recorded it, and it's one that I hope, no matter what's going on in this country, whatever's going on in this world, God, I don't know what's going on in this city. I saw some things overnight in Times Square you don't want to know about, that's for sure. It's the Dinkins days all over again. This is a song that hopefully will bring us all together, called One Community. Why can't we be one community? Why we always breaking in three? Why can't we be one community? I'm talking about you and me. Put down your dukes and pick up the pieces of your life. Put down the nukes and the gun, rope tongue, missile, bullet, knife. Why can't we be one community? Why we always begging in free? Why can't we be one community? I'm talking about you and me. Solo. Tell me the truth, there's harm in beatings round the bush. Don't turn me to sleuth, 'cause I detect bullshit when shove comes to push. Why can't we be one community? Why we always bringing in three? can't we be one community? I'm talking about you and me. 'Cause anyone is someone when there's someone there to need you. You're the one who freed you all the while. Why can't we be one community? Why can't we be one community? Why can't we be one community? One community. Make it a little 3D at the end for you folks. Let me check a few comments before we get ready to bring the show in for a landing. As you know, I like to do towards the end of a show. After all, you can't land the plane without bringing it in for the said landing. We've got some wow. Beetle Mike says wow with capital WOWs there. The music is so good. The lyrics draw me in. Beautiful Dave J. Or is he saying beautiful Dave J? This angle or this angle is beautiful Dave J? Which angle gives me beautiful Dave? I'll take beautiful Dave J. I'm just doing shtick. You know how to spell it now. Great tune, JPL. Thank you. And that means a lot because, no, I know it means a lot from both of you because both of you, Beetle Mike and Jennifer Pilecchio Lakowiak, have great taste in music, and I know this because I've discussed music with both of you. Now, JPL maybe less so, but I've seen your taste in music, and I remember it from high school, and I remember it since on Facebook, and I'm standing by my commenture. See, I don't just use it for the thing you write. I'll say things I don't make comments, I make commenture. So with all that in mind, goodness gracious, this show has been a delight for me. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. I should do more shows with very little sleep. Goodness gracious, where's that calculator? Maybe science will prove me right. But until then, I'm afraid it is time to bring the show in for a final landing. The final landing! Now the show will be banned in several countries for sharing that very melody. I don't know. In any case, you know I like to close the show with closing credits. But before I do, I want to thank you all very much and tell you how grateful I am that you have shown your presence and made some comments below, and that I just get to do this because it's a thrill for me. Yet I know that at some point I probably have to find some kind of topic to draw more and more and more people in. But until then, I'll just keep talking about my life and things I'm working on and so forth. I'm sure there's more Jablamo pop to come in coming weeks and more stuff on Trumpocalypse. So do tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, stay well and God bless. Take good care. Good night.